am Herbert. I'm a part of 6 dangerous individuals who are here to kill you. That doesn't hurt. You're about to die.
What do I do? The Legend of Zelda is a series that has been going on for many years, with many games across many consoles. Many consider Ocarina of Time or A Link to the Past, or if you're a normie, Breath of the Wild, as the best Zelda game. Personally, I like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I just think they're good. Unfortunately, some Zelda games go unnoticed. Games like Minish Cap and A Link Between Worlds. But the best and most underrated Zelda game of all time is none other than By the way, this is a review of the original N64 version and not the shitty 3D remake. And also I'm using footage of Chuggaaconroy's Let's Play for footage, because I have no way of recording either version. Whee! Being the first 3D polygonal game in the series, Ocarina of Time was a huge hit. When it came to making a new game, Nintendo didn't want to throw everything they had worked so hard to make into the trash and start from scratch again. Shigeru Miyamoto suggested the idea for a Master Quest. which eventually would make its way to Ocarina of Time in the 2003 GameCube edition of the game. But Eiji Aonuma wanted to create a new game using assets from Ocarina of Time. Miyamoto gave him 1 year. Because they had 1 year, they didn't have time to question their choices. They shamelessly reused assets, came up with weird experimental mechanics to compensate. It honestly should have failed. But this game ended up being a masterpiece. Not in spite of its rushed development, but specifically because of its rushed development. After the events of Ocarina of Time and after Link tattles on Ganondorf, which we don't see, but that's just how it went in this timeline, the hero of time is in the Lost Woods, looking for Navi. Why? I don't know, maybe he wants that fairy booty, maybe he wants revenge for annoying him for his entire journey through Hyrule. He's strolling along the Lost Woods on Epona when suddenly, he's attacked. Skull Kid, who was a blink and you'll miss it character in Ocarina of Time, knocks you off your horse as he dons a strange mask. He loots your Ocarina of Time off of your body when... You chase him, and then you fall. You then land, and Skull Kid turns you into a Deku Scrub. And then they decide to dip.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.
One of the fairies that followed Skull Kid got left behind by accident, so you agreed to team up with them to help Link return to human form and to reunite Tattle, the fairy, with her brother, Tail. Get it? Tattletale? Then you meet the best character.
You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
The Happy Masked Salesman says if you get the mask that Skull Kid stole from him, Majora's Mask, he'll return you to normal. After agreeing, you exit the tower you're in and reach the game's main hub, Clock Town. You then learn that Skull Kid will crash the moon into the Earth in 3 days, probably to put people out of their misery because they had to look at the moon for 3 days straight. You spend the first 2 days fucking about, and on the third day, you confront Skull Kid, and get your ocarina back. And then, you play the Song of Time. And you go back to the first day. The whole mechanic of this game is that you have 3 days to do what you need to do. Personally, this is fucking awesome. Time is a very utilized mechanic of the game. Obviously, there's the 3-day cycle. Every time you play the Song of Time, time resets. If you play the Song of Time backwards, also known as the inverted Song of Time, you'll slow down time by 66.666666, or 50% if you're lame. Doing this is really helpful, so if you plan on playing this game, always remember the inverted Song of Time at the beginning of each cycle. It helps so much. Along with the 3 days, every character has certain things happening at certain times, which makes the game even cooler. It's awesome how characters have their own schedules. Fuck you, Red Dead 2. Zelda did it 18 years prior. Say you have to help somebody with a quest. That's at the night of the second day. and you're on dawn of the second day. Well, you just play the notes of the Song of Time twice in a row, and the double Song of Time plays. The double Song of Time will skip to the next night/day. So that's also pretty useful to know. The overworld is pretty cool. Instead of exploring the Kingdom of Hyrule, you explore the realm of Termina. In Termina, there's Clocktown, acting as the central hub for everything except the dungeons. Termina Field, which connects everything, the swamp, mountain, beach/coast, and the canyon. And this is all in the 4 directions of a compass, so that's nice. There's also this one place near the swamp called Milk Road, but nobody really cares about that. Now, the thing that's interesting about Termina is how each area represents the stages of grief. I mean, this is just a game theory. No, literally it is. But it works really well considering the game's themes. And even if they don't represent Dabda, they still have themes like poison, snow, murky, and... Here's another cool thing about them. All 4 main areas are really like tutorials and mini-dungeons leading up to the main dungeon of that area. It's like training, which is pretty cool. They also resolve around the transformation mask you get in the area as well, at least for most of them. But we'll get into that later. Now look, I personally am not that big a fan of the dungeons in this game, except for one. But I can see how people would enjoy these dungeons. I don't know, maybe Twilight Princess spoiled me, because no other 3D Zelda game will have better dungeons. That being said, this game only has 4 dungeons, and all of which are climax to the area that you are in. Woodfall Temple is easily the worst temple in the game. It's dark, filled with poison water, and the music sucks ass. Snowhead and Great Bay are pretty alright. The puzzle design in Great Bay especially is great, and I love the overall aesthetics of both of them. But where the game really shines is with its last temple, Stone Tower Temple. To fit with the theme of acceptance, it's pretty damn good considering you're in a tower. Ascension and all that. Puzzles are great, it has multiple mini-bosses, all of which rock, and the music fucking slaps. You go through the first half like a normal dungeon until you get the light arrows. With nowhere else to go, you exit the temple and shoot the bright gem at the entrance, and... the rest of the dungeon is being done in the same ruins, but upside down. This is the coolest shit, period. I also like how the dungeon items in all of these are just different arrows for your bow. Yeah, go get items from the overworld, loser. We focus on elemental-based puzzles. And hey, even if we have different quality dungeons, the bosses are all pretty cool. The bosses in this game are all pretty good. The first boss in the game is Odawa. This dude looks awesome. He looks like the guy who could just fucking kill me. Just, absolutely kill me.
I mean, really, just absolutely destroy me. I'm talking full-on watermelon in the thighs level carnage. And I wanted to scare the shit out of me. I mean, I hope I piss myself. And you call me your little pee-pee piss boy.
The best thing about this fight is that there is no exact strategy to killing him. You can literally use any attacks to hurt him. Unlike the shitty-ass remake. And he'll retaliate by mixing up his moveset on you. The rules are simple. Whoever's living by the end of the day wins. The next boss is Got. George is a fish, whose name I refuse to pronounce correctly, and you use this game's base swimming mechanics to burn him to a fucking crisp until he shrinks into a normal fish and then shrinks out of existence. Twin Mold is the last dungeon boss, and as a reward for going through almost the entire game, this boss just makes you use the giant masks to... Okay, that last bit is exclusively from Majora's Shit 3D, though Twin Mold is a fun finale to the game's dungeons. Hey all, this is just a reminder that if you've liked the video so far, please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Alright, back to the video. I'd say the characters are the strongest high point of this game. Let's talk about Tattle first. She's my second favorite of the Zelda companions. She has actual character development, and it's just amazing. She agreed to help us if we reunite her with her brother. But when she sees what an asshole Skull Kid has become, she then agrees to help us further to save her friend. And after we clear the first dungeon, she actually shows some humanity. Or is it fairy-anity? Either way, she apologizes to Link for what her, Tail, and Skull Kid did to him. She has an even better moment, but I'll save that for a later portion because it spoils the story. Alright, let's talk about the NPCs now. 90% of the NPCs in this game have unique schedules for the 3-day cycle. Games have done these kinds of things before, but this was the first, as well as a game where it actually just kind of makes the most sense for this mechanic, not just for the sake of realism. Although many of the NPCs were just straight up ripped off from Ocarina of Time. Again, they had a year to develop this, they reused assets shamelessly. However, these ones have much more personality within them. The biggest thing I want to mention, however, is that everyone will die. All of these characters deal with the reality that they are going to die, all in different ways. This is the most human Zelda NPCs, nay, video game NPCs have been. Period. And the best way to experience these characters is via the side quests. This game holds the best side quests in video game history. For example, I will talk about the best questline in the game and the most famous, the Couple's Mask quest. It literally starts on the morning of the first day and ends right before the moon crashes. Skull Kid has been fucking everyone over, and the quest starts by trying to find this woman's son, Kafei. So to help you, she gives a mask that resembles her son's face. Gross. You then ask Kafei's fiancé, Anju, about her missing love. Shit happens, and you learn that via Skull Kid's magic, Kafei was turned into a child. You spend the rest of the quest conversing with Kafei and Anju about what the fuck is going on. They both have masks that they unify at their wedding. Anju has the moon mask, and Kafei the sun. Kafei's mask was stolen by a thief named Seiken, who you can actually stop from stealing in another quest. So you track down where Seiken is hiding on the night of the last day, and you try to get the sun mask. And this, for the first time in Zelda history, you play as someone who isn't Link. Crazy, right? If you fail, you have to start the entire quest over, but if you succeed, you can then see Kafei and Anju reunite a minute before the moon crashes and you get the Couple's Mask. This is a great side quest, and it's amazing, and believe it or not, I think there's one that's even better. Fucking aliens, bro. It's insane. If you beat this quest, you unlock another that actually foreshadows the Couple's Mask questline, so that's fun. You also get a mask for this. Speaking of that, let's talk about the game's namesake. As the name of this game implies, it has many masks that do unique things. Mostly. This game has 24 masks for you to collect, and although you don't need all of them, they all look really cool. Except for the Great Fairy's mask. It knows what you did on November 28th, 1999 at 11:23 p.m. on Oak Grove Road in Wisconsin in your 96 Range Rover. The obvious highlight of these masks are the transformation masks. You get them as the story progresses and they let you transform into the three main races, Deku, Goron, and the Cool One. There's going to be a mask for Gibdos, but they couldn't really find a good way to utilize it, so it's just a normal-ass mask that let you communicate with them. There's also the Giant's Mask, but that can only be used in Twin Mold's boss fight. The transformation mask all have benefits, specifically with their movement. Deku can fly with flowers and skip across water. Gorons are basically Sonic, and the Zoras have the coolest fucking swimming mechanics in any video game. Don't test me! However, the best mask is the bunny hood. Because you go fast, but not too fast you can't control yourself. I speedrun getting this mask at the start of each playthrough and I never take it off. Another great mask is the Garo mask. It is required for the story, but only to gain access to Ikana Canyon. However, I like it because its only other purpose is to intentionally put a target on your back and to fight deadly ninja assassins. Fucking metal. If you want to know more about the other masks, I recommend PBG's videos of the top 10 masks of this game. He excludes Transformation Mask, and it lets you know more, but of course, I can't talk about the masks in this game without mentioning the last Transformation Mask. The Fierce Deity Mask. As a reward for getting all other 23 masks in the game, you are gifted with the Fierce Deity Mask right before the final boss. You can only use this thing in boss rooms, but god damn, this is one of the most overpowered weapons in video games. It decimates anything it comes in contact with. It's so OP that people can beat the final boss with this thing blindfolded in mere moments. Speaking of the final boss, after going through each area of the game, helping whatever town we come across, expelling them of the evil that Skull Kid left behind, we also happen to free 4 mysterious giants who promise to help Link if he is to free all 4 of them. Through an optional side quest, you can actually learn that these giants were once Skull Kid's friends, but for some unknown reason they had to leave, which left him sad and lonely until he met Tattle and Tail, and he, well, you know. After saving them all, we once more confront Skull Kid at the top of the clock tower at midnight of the 3rd day. And we call upon the giants. They actually manage to stop the moon in its tracks. This causes Skull Kid to freak out because his plan is failing, and the mask straight up rejects him. It heads up into the moon, and Link decides to follow suit. But not before Tattle, who has been of great help to us, and has grown closer to us, decides that if we ride together, we die together. We both enter the moon, and it's so peaceful. Time doesn't pass here. There's a meadow spanning as far as the eye can see, and in the center, a tree. Around the tree are 5 children, 4 of which are running around having fun. They offer to play hide and seek with us, but in exchange, they want our masks. We play hide and seek with them, giving away our mask until all we have left are their transformation masks. The last child, who isn't running around, sitting alone, has this to say.
Everyone has gone away, haven't they? Will you play with me? Sure. You don't have any masks left, do you? If you do have masks when you talk to him and you don't do all 4 of those areas, he says you only have weak masks. Well, let's do something else. Let's play good guys against bad guys. Yes, let's play that. We got the Fierce Deities masks. Could this mask's dark powers be as bad as Majora? Try it on with C. Are you ready? You're the bad guy, and when you're bad, you just run. That's fine, right? Well, shall we play?
We enter an arena, ready to play good guys and bad guys. When...
Meet Majora's Mask, the true evil that was behind all this, not Skull Kid's intentions at all.
After an intense boss battle, and I mean it's only really intense if you're not using the Fierce Deity mask, we defeat the spirit of Majora's Mask. We arrive back in Termina, and Skull Kid reconciles with the giants. Tattle and Tail are reunited. The world isn't going to end. And the mask salesman gets Majora's Mask back, and because we defeated the spirit living within it, it's now just a piece of wood. Link and Skull Kid decide to be friends, and Link sets off to go back to where he was before this started, looking for Navi. Tattle ends with this sentence. Credits roll, we see everyone getting their happy ending. Well, mostly everyone. The themes of this game are, well, mature for this E10 and up game. People struggle with the reality they're going to die, some of them do die, and again, there is a game theory that better explains this, and the overarching theme of accepting your death, and PPG is in it. So that's a plus. Another theme I wish to bring attention to is friendship. Skull Kid's entire motivation for his actions was how bitter he was that the giants left him, thus leading to a friendship with Tattle and Tail, and eventually a friendship with Link. A friendship before this game, a friendship during, and one after. A kind of cycle that completes. It's nice to see, and it's nice to see that Skull Kid reconciles with everyone. Majora's Mask is honestly the best Zelda game. Like, it's not my personal favorite, but I can recognize it as the best. With the overall best world, gameplay cycle, mechanics, story, music. Oh my god, I did not talk about the music. Oh shit. It's a great game. And much like Portal 1 and 2, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Ah, you too revel in the games of disparity.
And you are?
Lost Poet Edgar, at your acquaintance.
Oh, I get it. You're a crow, you're a skeleton, poet, Edgar Allan Poe.
Take a walk with me, why don't you?
If I refuse?
Fire! Here's God, Edgar.
Let's go on that walk.
I resent violence. I really do. But I'm not afraid to enact it. Tell me, what is your resolve?
My resolve?
What do you aspire to be, aspire to do?
I don't know. I just want to live a normal life. Make money in a way with little to no annoyance.
But are you ready?
For?
The group I'm part of.
Class? I don't know. I just don't know.
You have to choose whether to fight us or to submit and die.
I don't want to kill anyone, but I certainly don't plan on dying.
You'll have to fight us. You know that. Kill me.
What?
See if you have a strong will. Open my chest, take out my heart, tear out my soul.